Forget about Excel's VLOOKUP and index match functions, and let's take a look at the DGET function. It's a database function that allows you to search a list, retrieve a specific value from a column based on a condition or a set of criteria. Let's jump in and take a look at how the DGET function can help you become more efficient as you work with large sets of data inside of Excel. Open in front of you, I've got an example file that I'm going to utilize to show off the DGET function inside of Microsoft Excel. Now, I've made this file available so you can download it, follow along with me, and practice the DGET function on your own. This file, it's found in the video description just directly below. Look for the OfficeNewb.com blog link, and you can download the file from there. It's called DGET-function-01, and it's a Microsoft Excel file. And while you're down there, make sure if you enjoy this video, you learn something new, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get updates about new videos that we post to this channel each week. So get the file downloaded and we'll jump in and take a look at both the DGET function and compare it to the VLOOKUP. Inside of this example file, I've got a single worksheet called Employee Sales. It's got a simple table in here, structured data. It's got column headers, employee, region, product, sales amount, and so on. And then it's got a handful of records below those headers. Now, off to the right, I've got two more really simple little tables where we're going to demonstrate both the VLOOKUP and the DGET function. Now, this video is all about the Excel DGET function, but I want to compare it to something you might already be familiar with. And we're going to see how the DGET can take the lookup portion several steps forward beyond what the VLOOKUP has. So let's take a look at the VLOOKUP first, and then we'll compare. All right. So my goal here is based on an employee, in this case, Mike Brown, employee being the first column in the list. There's Mike Brown right there. I want to know this employee's sales amount. How much did Mike Brown sell? Well, if I jump into cell K4, I'm going to say equals VLOOKUP. There it is, found it for me. I'll hit my tab key. It finishes off the function, opens the parentheses for me, and is ready for the VLOOKUP function arguments. So the first thing it wants to know is the lookup value. It wants to know, okay, well, you want to find sales amount, but what am I going to look for to then give you the specific sales amount? Well, here, lookup value is going to be J4, which is Mike Brown, comma. The next thing it wants to know is where's it going to find it? What's the table array? So I'm now going to jump over to A2 to F11. I've now given it the range to look in, comma. Now the VLOOKUP says, okay, I'm going to look in the first column of the list for Mike Brown. There's Mike Brown. Inside this list, now it wants to know which column to return back to us. Now the VLOOKUP calls it a call index num or column index num. So each of these columns here are numerically positioned. Employee being number 1, region number 2, product number 3, and sales amount number 4. So I'm going to put a 4 in there because I want it to return the value in the 4th column once it finds Mike Brown. I'm going to do a comma one more time, and it wants to know the range lookup. I'm going to tell it to find the exact match. So when you go to look for the employee, Mike Brown, give me the exact match. So I'll grab that one, close the parentheses, and I'm going to hit my enter key. And there's our 1500. Let's format that as currency. There we go. Let's just confirm Mike Brown, $1,500. All right. That's your VLOOKUP. You probably used that before. If you haven't, it's a great function, very powerful, but it has some limitations. And I've mentioned them as we were going through that function. The first one, the VLOOKUP says, okay, where am I looking? And it's going to look inside of the first column in that list. Okay. Employee, what if I wanted to search for a specific region? Well, then I'd have to specify, well, my list starts here, making region the first column. Well, now employee is off to the left, and I can't do anything with that inside of this function. If I wanted to look for a specific region and return the specific employee in that region, this wouldn't work for me because it's got to be the first column in the list. And then that means employee would have to be later on. Okay, so I'd have to modify my list to accommodate the function. Well, let's take a look at the DGET function and how it can overcome this limitation and add more to our function. So we've seen the VLOOKUP in action. Now let's take a look at Excel's DGET function and how it can overcome some of the limitations that the VLOOKUP function has. So I'm going to jump into the same file. This is the DGET function -01 file, and I'm on the employee sales worksheet, and I'm going to jump into cell K8. We're going to do the exact same thing, but now utilize DGET. So I'm going to jump into cell K8. I'll say equals DGET. There it is. Extracts from a database a single record that matches the conditions you specify. Okay, great. I'm going to hit my tab key. It finishes it off for me, and now it's ready for the arguments. We've got 3 arguments. The database, where's the data at? What's the field that you want me to return back to you? And then what's the criteria? How am I going to find that value that you want returned back? So for database, I'm going to go grab the complete table, A1 to F11. Now right away, this is already different than the VLOOKUP. I'm including the header row. I've got the row 1, A1 to F11, included inside of this function. Now this is very important, and we're going to see why here in just a moment. This is different though than the VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, I didn't have to do that. Didn't have to include the headers. But here's why. Now I'm going to do a comma, done with the database. The next thing it wants to know is the field. Okay. Well, remember the field is, what do you want returned back? You might recall inside of the VLOOKUP, we needed to specify a column index number, right? Is it column number 1, number 2, number 3? What column do you want to return back? Well, here for our field, I'm just going to grab the column header or the field name. In this case, sales amount. Then I'm going to do a comma. The last thing it needs is the criteria. In order for me to give you sales amount that you want, what am I going to find to give you that specific sales amount? Well, for our criteria, I'm going to grab these 2 cells, J7 to J8. Now, very important, we've got a header, employee, that matches the header here. They have to be spelled exactly the same way. It's not case sensitive, but spelling absolutely matters. So now it knows, oh, I'm going to go look for employee. And inside that column, I'm going to find Mike Brown, and then I'm going to return what's found inside the sales amount column. And that's it. I'll close the parentheses, hit my enter key, and there's our 1500. Pretty slick. All right. So a little more streamlined, not as many arguments, and a little more practical as far as referencing data inside of that list. Try this out. Try the VLOOKUP, nail that one down, especially if you haven't used it, and then compare it to the DGET. Let me know in the comments. Jump down in the comments directly below this video and let me know which one you prefer, VLOOKUP or DGET. Jump in and try it out. I want to show you a quick little tip regarding the DGET function. So I'm back inside the exercise file. We've got our employee, Mike Brown there, and I've got the $1,500. Now remember, in the function, we specified the column, the field name, where we want to return the value from once it finds employee Mike Brown. D1, right there. Well, take a look at this. What if I no longer want sales amount, right? I now want Mike Brown's customer rating, right? I want customer rating. So I'll put customer rating here. I'll hit my enter key, and we didn't update. because now I'd have to go into my formula. I'll give that a double click, and I'd have to change my field reference here to be F1. I hit my enter key, and we've now got, shouldn't be formatted as a currency, we've now got the 4.2 rating for Mike Brown for customer rating. Okay, pretty cool. We can update the column header, but we gotta make sure that the formula gets updated, right? So it reflects the new column that we want to return. Well, here's the quick tip. Instead of typing in the value and having to update the formula, it'd be nice if I didn't have to update the formula. I could just change the column heading and boom, the formula would update. Well, if I go back to my formula, instead of F1 right over here, or D1 or whatever column, I'm going to reference the column header inside of my little table here. So I'm going to select K7. I'll hit my enter key, and there's our 4.2. Now, if I change this, let's say, no, I want sales amount again. There we go. It updates. I don't have to worry about making an update to the formula. I just change it here, make sure the formula references that cell, and it updates for me. Pretty cool. Make sure you try this out. One little tweak, make the formula that much more dynamic and allow for quick updates, just like this. I want to show off a limitation that the DGET function contains. But in doing so, I'm going to show you how you can overcome this limitation with a built-in feature within the DGET function. Take a look. Now, right now, I've got the employee, Mike Brown, and I want to know the product that Mike Brown sold. Well, here's the limitation. If the column that we're searching, in this case, employee, contains multiple Mike Browns. Let's say it's not Tom Harris. This is A10. I'm going to change this to a Mike Brown. Okay. Now Mike Brown's in the list multiple times. And if I look back to my function, I've now got an error in there. Well, the DGET function just says, hey, I'm looking for Mike Brown, unfortunately, and I want to give you back the product, but unfortunately, there's multiple Mike Browns in there. The little function's just doesn't know what to do. Right? Like, there's multiple. Which one do you want? Well, to overcome this limitation and this error, we can specify multiple criteria. So I've got a region column in here. Now, each of the Mike Browns, when they made these sales, were in different regions. So for Mike Brown here, I've got a north. For Mike Brown here, I've got an east. Well, I want to get back the product that Mike Brown in the east region. So I'll drop in east there inside of I8. I'll hit my enter key. And I'm just going to update the formula. So if I hop over to here, we're going to change the criteria from J7 to J8 to I7 to J8. We're going to include region and the employee. I'll hit my enter key, and Mike Brown in the East region sold the laptop. Well, what about Mike Brown in the North region? What did Mike Brown in the North region sell? I'll change that to North, hit my enter key, and it was a laptop as well. All right, so has to be unique. Single column, the value's got to be unique inside that column, otherwise the DGET just doesn't know what to do. But we can drop in multiple criteria, bring in another column, and say, I want you to search where the region's north and the employee is Mike Brown. Let's make that combination unique so it can then return the product back to us. So make sure you try this out. It's a limitation, get a potential error, but we can overcome it with the multiple criteria. Try it out. So there you have it. That's the Excel DGET function, a database function that allows you to search a list, retrieve a value from a specific column based on a condition or a set of criteria. Now, we compared it to the VLOOKUP, right? We saw some of the limitations that the VLOOKUP has and how we can overcome those limitations with the DGET. The DGET, it has its own limitations, but we can overcome those limitations with built-in features such as multiple criteria inside the function itself. So Let me know what you think. Drop into the comments section. Let me know what function you prefer. VLOOKUP, index match, maybe the XLOOKUP, or the DGET function inside of Excel. And as you're down there in the comments, make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, you learned something new. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get updates about new videos that we add to this channel each week on Microsoft Excel topics and other Microsoft Office applications. So download the file, practice this function, get it into your work environment, and I'll see you in the next video.